Presented by Listen Headlines. Latest financial news from trusted sources. Updating daily noontime New York City. Daily FX Market News.
July 13th, 11:25 America New York. US dollar price action setups. EUR, USD, GBP, USD, USD, CAD, USD, JPY. The US dollar set a fresh 19-year high after another fresh 40-year high printed with CPI. There's now building expectation for a 100 BP hike from the Fed later this month. BBC News Business. July 13th, 11:18 America New York. Fukushima bosses ordered to pay $97 billion in damages. 4 ex-bosses were sued by shareholders after a disaster at the Fukushima nuclear plant in 2011.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
July 13th, 11:10 America New York. Airport chaos is a high-class problem for airlines. Delta Airlines results confirm that post-pandemic costs will remain high as cancellations rise and labor demands mount, but excess demand for flying is still good news.
New York Times Business.
July 13th, 11 o'clock America New York. Gates Foundation adds $20 billion to its coffers. The organization, still run by Bill Gates and Melinda French Gates, will eventually spend $9 billion a year, up from $6 billion, on causes like global health and education. The Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation said it would increase its annual giving to $9 billion by 2026.
New York Times Business.
July 13th, 10:37 America New York. Victoria's Secret and What's Sexy Now. A rebranding and a new documentary have the lingerie company back in the cultural crosshairs. BBC News Business.
July 13th, 10:34 America New York. Rail strike. New walkout to take place on the 27th of July. Rail workers will walk out as part of an ongoing dispute over pay, jobs and conditions, the RMT union says.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
July 13th, 10:33 America New York. Bank of Canada surprises with full point rate rise to combat inflation. The move lifted the central bank's target for the overnight rate to 2.50% from 1.50%, the biggest one-time increase since 1998.
BBC News Business.
July 13th, 10:24 America New York. Euro falls below dollar for first time since 2002. Fears of recession in Europe are weighing heavily on the single currency.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
July 13th, 10:23 America New York. Higher than expected inflation lifts government bond yields. Fresh evidence of accelerating inflation rattled bond markets anew, sending traders rushing to prepare for even more aggressive interest rate increases.
Daily FX Market News.
July 13th, 10 o'clock America New York. USD, CAD. Bank of Canada hikes by 100 basis points. The Bank of Canada raised its benchmark borrowing rate by 1.00%, taking the policy rate to 2.50%.
Wall Street Journal Markets.
July 13th, 10 o'clock America New York. SEC mulls changes to proxy voting advice, shareholder proposals. The Commission is considering 2 rules that could elevate investor influence over company affairs.
The Library of Economics and Liberty. July 13th, 10 o'clock America New York. Socialist claims about capitalism 2. Capitalism creates inequality. Nature creates inequality. Different socioeconomic systems reward different natural inequalities, intelligence, physical health, strength, and beauty, by the incentives they create.
Global Economy. July 13th, 9:56 America New York. 5 British energy suppliers threatened with fines over direct debit rises. Regulator Ofgem gives groups 2 weeks to file action plans but does not find evidence of unjustifiably high rises.
New York Times Business.
July 13th, 9:23 America New York. Euro hits parity with US dollar for first time in 20 years. In recent months, pressure on the euro has been mounting while investors have been flocking to the US dollar, a haven in times of economic upheaval.
Daily FX Market News.
July 13th, 9 o'clock America New York. Russell 2000 Index. Further downhill hiking expected. It is not over yet for the decline in U.S. indices and the Russell is no exception. Further downside is expected within the bearish sequence it is unfolding in.
Global Economy.
July 13th, 9 o'clock America New York. IMF set to make fresh downgrades to global growth. Fund warns that downside risks cited in the spring have now materialized.
The Library of Economics and Liberty.
July 13, 812 America, New York. The Together trial of ivermectin isn't all that together. However, a careful reading of the NEJM article finds it is not nearly as conclusive and persuasive as the two doctors' quotes and other media coverage would lead us to believe.
Global economy.
July 13, 806 America, New York. No, the global economy is not breaking into geopolitical blocks. Shrewd operators like Brazil's Bolsonaro and India's Modi can avoid getting trapped in a restrictive alliance with Washington or Beijing.
Armstrong Economics.
July 13, 720 America, New York, private blog, the plan to rig the 22 midterms. Private blog, the plan to rig the 22 midterms. Private blog posts are exclusively available to Socrates subscribers. To sign up for Socrates or to learn more, please visit ask-socrates.com.
Digital finance.
July 13, 712 America, New York. Climate Impact X taps Nasdaq for carbon exchange. The Singapore startup, with heavy-duty backing, partners with Nasdaq for its carbon spot market engine. The post-Climate Impact X taps Nasdaq for carbon exchange appeared first on Digital Finance.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
July 13, 632 America, New York. Summer travel rebound delivers Delta profit despite rising costs. U.S. airlines, including Delta, are dealing with operational struggles and cancellations amid a surge in consumer demand.
Wall Street Journal U.S. Business.
July 13, 533 America, New York. Targeted by Beijing, one Chinese tutoring company reinvents itself with live streams selling groceries. New Oriental, one of China's largest private tutoring companies until a regulatory crackdown almost crushed it last year, has become the country's latest live streaming sensation,